Hey guys, welcome. This is a different video. I guess this JTTV doesn't really have a video type, so it is our B channel where you can throw whatever, you know. So this is a video, kind of a behind the scenes business, branding, marketing, kind of conceptual video of talking about merch and branding and our history with it and how we got to where we are today with our merch store. This will be very similar to the logo video and logo branding video that came out whenever it came out, a year, 2 years ago. So I'm going to dive into our merch, the history, the things that led us to where we are today. So why we chose to do our own store from the ground up and not a partnership or a printing on demand website, you know. And so that's kind of what we're going to go through in this video. And then I'm going to cover all the merch in terms of, I have files, I have the merch here in a box and on the desk, and just kind of show everything. So the history of every product we've had that I have access to or pictures of. So that'll be the video, and hopefully it's fun. I will kind of tease some deals we have with Black Friday. I will preview a couple merch items which are pretty cool. One is for sure happening, one is very early stages and has been for a while, but I will preview those. So stick around in the video for those. So we start off with kind of early on, we didn't have merch. You know, it was something that was encouraged that, you know, you need to be doing this. Like for my sister who's younger, or is younger, and at the time, like even she was a middle schooler, and she's like, you need to do this. People will buy your merch. You got to do it. And so we never really did that, but she like made things at home, did some handmade stuff, and was like, see, it's cool. And so that's the earliest kind of form of our merch. And then we made kind of handmade CDs. You know, we got the CD, we got the jewel cases, we printed out the jacket, we put it in, we burned a CD, put a sticker label over it, and we gave it to fans as a giveaway kind of thing. And then fast forward to our Spreadshirt. So in terms of young kids who have a brand, have an audience, have a channel, and you don't know how to put out merch, something like Spreadshirt is a wonderful tool. And so we created this Spreadshirt page. I won't go over the merch in depth, but until later on when I'm going in through the merch, but we made that. And so Spreadshirt's great, especially when you're starting off and you don't want to hold inventory or you don't have access to a partnership that produces merch. So it's a great tool, but it's not the best option. And that's something we learned. The print quality on these kind of things is typically not great. There has been some that have great quality, but the issue is the upcharging. And a place like Spreadshirt or Teespring or Fan Fiber or Designed by Humans is their business. They need to make money too. And so you kind of have the prices rising on these merch items where the quality is not always warranting of that price. So you have that as an issue, and then you have quality and price is too high, and then you're limited in design. So with these, if you've ever been on a Spreadshirt site, you kind of have a box and you can put your logo in there and maybe on your back. But then prices really add up with that. So yeah, that's ultimately the biggest starting point from Spreadshirt. Then from there, we moved on to Broadband TV when we got an MCN, and they were able to create a lot of merch, and we weren't limited in the design scope or the type of products. We had backpacks and we had shirts with all crazy kind of designs on it. And the biggest takeaway from the Broadband TV kind of step in our merch journey was that the quality was great. It was dyed sublimated, so it didn't fade, it didn't wash away, which is great. And I think that's something you want. You want the coolest merch for your fans. You want them to have the coolest thing, you want them to be proud of it, you want them to wear it, and you want that to kind of intermingle with their love for your brand. It's tangible, and they can represent. And I think the Broadband TV merch did that really well. Where it didn't go so well was price, again, was too high. They were the ones handling fulfillment and production and design, which is fine, but because of that, it drove up pricing. Broadband TV is Canadian. The company is based in Canada, so I don't know if that brought up the prices for American buyers. I don't know what the deal is there, but the t-shirts were north of $30 US. And then the fulfillment time took a long time. So it was still print on demand, this stuff, which I don't know how they did with the complicated designs, but it was. And because of that, the processing time was two weeks, and then it shipped from China. So that wasn't good. That just takes too long, especially in the day of Amazon Prime, 2-day shipping, you know, like, you want it when you buy it, or you want it as soon as you can. So that was the takeaways there. Fast forward to Rooster Teeth. Rooster Teeth has the RT store. And with that, a very good friendly deal, benefiting to us and them equally in terms of revenue share. Great resources and design, a lot more collaborative. But with Rooster Teeth being a big company with layers and layers of companies owning them over the umbrella, the pressure to invest in things that have a return is very high. And because of that, we weren't able to do a lot of experimentation with our merch, or even do much, because it wasn't selling enough to their standard. And I think now Rooster Teeth has print on demand, so that that kind of barrier isn't there as much. But at that time, that limited us. We didn't have many designs. We didn't have much control because they needed to make sure they were producing something that would sell. And so the final say always kind of deferred to them in terms of creative designs and what to do and how much designs we could have on a launch or any of that. The big learning point from that was we want freedom. We want to do what we want to do. We want to be experimental. We want to create cool things and have the freedom to do that. So all those things gave us why we wanted to do JT merch, our own store from the ground up. The website was created ground up with a developer friend of ours. All the merch is designed with our full creative say and approval with artists. We have full stock inventory. We buy things and we sell them and we restock as it makes sense. We get to experiment and sell different things. So there's a lot that we learned from the last 9 to 10 years of all these different things, from my sister ironing on shirts to Spreadshirt quality, learning about the importance of quality and pricing, Broadband TV, the importance of turnaround and fulfillment, and then Rooster Teeth, the importance and the learning point that we want to make cool things and we want to have full creative control of that. And so all those things kind of added to JT Merch, the website, the store you have hopefully been using and checking things out on. So with all that said, it took me 20 minutes to say that last time, and I said in 10 minutes, so I'm pretty happy with that. Let's dive into all the merch that we've ever made, and this will be fun. I have things here, I have it on my computer, so between that, we should cover everything we've ever produced, which is pretty cool. We'll start off with something early that we did was this hard copy CD. TuneCore, the company we used to use for music distribution for iTunes and Apple and all those, I guess iTunes and Apple are the same thing. They had a thing where they were making hard copy CDs. So these are professionally created hard copy CDs. They weren't the jewel cases with us sliding in our little prints that we cut with scissors. These are well made, professionally done. And so I designed this greatest ever hit CD, and it was really fun. Really basic kind of concept of the controller design, and it's an Xbox controller, and the skull and the pad are the select and start buttons. Here's the design, super easy. JT's Machinima's greatest hits ever. Greatest ever is kind of that JT kind of thing that we started with the first video. So for a greatest hit CD, the name was just natural and easy. Here's the CD itself. The idea is I wanted to make it like a kind of like the JT Machinima box was a console, because this is kind of a riff on the Xbox disc design at the time. I think the Xbox 360. And so that's kind of the design. It's as if you're putting this game, it's a game that's going into your JT game console, I don't know. But you got the Too Legit, something about your mom, I don't know. Yeah, and then the back with the tracks, and tracks with an X, because you gotta be cool. You got starting with the greatest ever all the way to Keeping Me Human, and this was about 2010 or 11. And this, I made this and put it up on a site, and it was very difficult. I started from scratch. The hosting sites weren't there then, so I really had to go in and build something kind of from the ground up with some templates and stuff, but it was very difficult, and I don't know how I did it, connecting bank accounts and stuff to merchant accounts. I did it, and it took me a long time to figure it out, but we did it. We did like 100, 200 of these. We sold them. I went to the post office with a batch of them and would ship them out, and it took a long time. This was before stamps.com, or maybe stamps.com existed, but I wasn't aware of it. So that's the very first thing that we kind of sold independently. So I didn't mention that in the beginning of steps along the way. And I think this was an important step because it made me realize how difficult this is to do myself. So that's why we didn't do that way. We didn't jump into that right away, right? And then obviously Spreadshirt. So I don't have a folder for that because this site is still alive. I don't even know how to log into this. I think people probably have bought stuff in the last 5 years. but I don't think we get the money. I don't really care either way, but it's here. If you want this stuff, cool, you can get it. I don't discourage it, but if you're trying to support us, it's not supporting us, but it's there if you like it. So, you know, we got the logo tee, the old logo. You guys all know that story. All different shapes and sizes for different fits. A hoodie. We got the same with the Dynasty, which was our kind of fan club at this time. We do have a fan club. It's the JT Sub Club on Facebook. If you want to check it out, go check it out. It's like it's kind of Patreon without having to pay. It's kind of the way I pitch it, because that's what it is. We had Nerdstorm, one of our albums. We made a little T-shirt to that, and then we had the Terraria character from the Terraria album art. Made a shirt for that. And all these I think are Gildan shirts, and the pricing is pretty high for a Gildan shirt. That hoodie pricing is pretty good actually. Hey, that's pretty good pricing. Because our hoodie now sells for 40 bucks, and that's definitely too low a price. So Broadband TV, again, I guess I'll start with the most boring option out here, which is, I guess, the logo tee, just a different rendering, artist rendering. We have the tag, the t-shirt quality was better. This was dye sublimated, so this, like the threading here, was dyed to be white. You know, so the threading up here is black, right? And then the threading there is white. And so that pretty much makes the shirt non-wear proof. Like the logo and the design does not wear. So it's pretty cool. We have, again, where I was talking about how the Spreadshirt and those sites, how limited you are with the design. You know, you could only, you know, put a graphic here, but with this you can have a wraparound. You can have it in weird spots outside of that box. And I really like this shirt. I haven't worn it lately because it feels a little crazy and obnoxious for me as a kind of 28-year-old dude walking down the street with this goofy shirt. But it's the perfect shirt to wear at shows at like an NPC or an RTX. So it's still in my wardrobe for that. Here we have our first hoodie, and you know, we have a little logo there. I don't think there's anything on the back, but this kind of lifestyle kind of was the goal with the Broadband TV merch store. So a lot of things weren't very slapping a logo on. The backpack, I really love the design motif of our logo and a pattern. I really like that. And then the different take on our logo, you know. We made some launch merch, so we have a We Don't Bite for 5 Nights at Freddy's, which we did with Killer Hook, and those sold really well. So that's something I want to definitely explore going into the new year, is kind of tentpole big projects that have a corresponding shirt that comes with it. And Killer Hook was a great one because I have what has sold and what's sold at what sizes, so I can use that to make a more educated decision on what stock I'm buying, you know, in different sizes. And something I learned this time is we have a lot of 3XL. We always limit how much we get in that because you kind of get sizes at a bell curve, right? And there was a glitch on the inventory that it wasn't updating that the 3XL was selling out. But because of that, we sold a lot of 3XL. I'm like, oh shit, there's a lot of people out there that want that size. So another one tied into Welcome to My Apocalypse, pretty basic. You know, got the skull motif, the music, and then I guess the bandana is the Apocalypse tie-in, I guess. Kind of a lifestyle play. JT starts at 2008. It's kind of like that Gap lifestyle generic shirt. We got the cat scratch design, that's what we called it. I really like this shirt. I still have it, but it's still kind of the gaudy, like, I don't know if I can be wearing this as much. It's still goofy. Lunchbox, like that. I use that when I take that lunchbox in the office these days, just for lunch. And then the logo tee, you know, here's kind of the basic evolution of the logo tee that you see through the years. You always own an evergreen logo tee, or at least that's how I feel. So that's, you know, here's the very, very first version. And then here's what's next, right? Rooster Teeth. So this is cool because with Rooster Teeth, it was collaborative in terms of the design process. So you'll be able to see some steps of the collaboration of the designs. So the very first thing was a logo tee. At the time, a lot of the Let's Play people that got added, you know, you get your logo tee, so you had a merch item available for people that could represent and be excited about that Let's Play channel, right? So that was the first thing, right? So we got the JT logo, JT Machinima, pretty basic. Just the logo, pretty basic, what we ended up going with, and then a distressed version, right? So we went with this one, and it was the first time we did red on black. And at that time, the logo has always been white. It was white on red with a red background and white on black with a black background. And so this was jarring, like, I don't know, this red's an angry color, you know, and it's like, woo, it's there. but it grew on us, and it's influenced a lot of things, and it thanks to this design that was presented to us by Rooster Teeth, it made us realize, you know what, the black on red is cool. It is a cool look. It is aggressive and big and loud, but I like that. And you know, it's influenced merch that's since then. You know, we have this pin that's red. You know, normally this would have been a white pin. Or the keychain's black, right? All right, black, red. So that was kind of cool. That's our logo shirt, and actually we have some of them left over because we bought out the inventory from Rooster Teeth. You can't really see it. I'm trying to figure out if this is something we can sell on our site or not, but otherwise we're just hanging on to it, figuring out what to do. And we can, I know for a fact, we can sell that at shows. So right now that's where it's standing, but we're working on to figure out if that's something we can sell on the store and get those out to you guys. The remaining, you know, that's OG. That's the OG logo t-shirt from Rooster Teeth, which is a cool one. Hat was the other thing that we wanted to launch. So simultaneously we launched that shirt with a hat. And so this was kind of the white on black. It was what we were used to. So that was one of the designs presented. And then we have the red on black, and then this kind of inverted embroider look, which is actually pretty cool, and that is something we came back around to. So ultimately we went with this. The logo was huge. That was kind of a cool, big, loud kind of thing, but the manufacturer, they couldn't make it that big. So ultimately, we went with something like this, which you guys have seen before. It's an old original hat. I still have mine. It's worn out, but it's still in good enough condition. You know, it's like, and it has JT Machinima on it. Like, we've had ones with JT Music of the same design since, but this is kind of the founder's hat, you know, if you will. And the funny thing is, Skull threw his into an ice rink during a hat trick, so he doesn't have his. So mine's like the last one that we have of that. But then we wanted to update the merch. So this was kind of first wave. Year one, we just had this shirt and this hat through Steve. Year two, we wanted something that maybe appeal to younger audiences. So this was big and bold and a skull. And I had many people, kind of like old women and young moms with their kids, kind of like, whoa, that's a scary shirt. I'm like, oh my God, believe it or not. Enough to where I was like, huh, I wonder if it's not selling because it's too big and bold and scary, and it is a skeleton or skull. Like, maybe that's not working with the kids and the parents buying for the kids. So we're like, let's try something different. And so we went with the DJ Skull design, which our artist Michael made, and that's how we discovered Michael. Actually, was he just did this for a bunch of different channels for an event, and so Michael does a lot of our designs and branding for our album covers and a lot of the stuff you see. So we're given 4 designs, right? We went with this one with the patch or the arm logo. So we kind of combined this with this. But as I look at these now, I like this one the best. But we made these, they didn't sell too well, unfortunately. So that was like, okay, nope, that hypothesis was incorrect. But we have these still in here as well as part of our buyout. You know, here it is. So we have those in stock to figure out what we're doing with it. But at the meantime, they will be available at shows when we do them, when this all ends. And then with that launch, we had this hat. And this actually, so that brings back kind of that vibe, right? Where this is embroidered and has that texture and comes out, and then the negative space is where you see the logo. And this has a cool little design motif of ours, and then there's stuff under the side of the hat as well that is there. So that's cool. That's the ability to manufacture and design a product instead of using something such as a print on demand where you just slap the logo on, and that's maybe you can put a little logo on the back above the snap, but no. So with Rooster Teeth, that was kind of our first exposure to that with hats, at least. I guess we gave them a bunch of designs. So we had the album art for JTXVI or 16, one of the albums. Oh, I guess it's right there. Yeah, JTXVI. So this is one of the designs we got. Pretty cool. Just not ultimately something I wanted to go with. I actually like this a lot. Super simple. I like the T-shirt design, color, and texture. I really like that. And then ultimately the one we went with was this long sleeve, which also we have a bunch of inventory in, and in bigger sizes too. So again, that's part of we got to figure out what we can do with that. But I think that ends the chapter on Rooster Teeth merch. And okay, so here we go at JT merch. So we wanted to start with merch that was basic and evergreen. We wanted to start off with that. And I think that's a good way to start a merch store. It's a good safe way. It's a good way to gauge interest, find out buying patterns and stuff like that. And so we worked with Evan Eckerd, who's an artist. He's worked with 100 Thieves in the past, a lot of Twitch guys and eSport logos, stuff like that. I've admired his work for a while, so it was awesome to collaborate with him and have some stuff created. So these are the designs. So some of these you'll see that came to fruition, some didn't. So here's a boombox design. He's an illustrator, and a graphic designer. So that's a cool thing. Is like, I don't know. It's cool. I like meshing those two together. It's the best of both worlds, right? So the boombox shirt, 2 different iterations, right? We ultimately didn't go with it because it wasn't base enough. You know, it didn't have our logo front and center. You know, we wanted that base evergreen. These are all the assets I sent him. I think Michael made this this version of the old alt logo, the old logo, but alternate version. I actually like it. Kind of sitting on it, I don't know. We have it. We haven't done anything with it. So I think so here's the one iteration. So this is the hoodie we went with, right? You recognize that. Here's a version we were given, and then here's the hoodie essentially in t-shirt version. But I don't know if I didn't like that as a front graphic. The hoodie I liked it. I liked that it was a combination of lifestyle, but also had our logo. So it was the best of both worlds in those things. So you know, you got the hoodie right here, which is for sale on the site. And in the later prints of our merch, we started getting the tags printed, which was just kind of a cool way to further the customization, the JT lifestyle, that this is JT merch and this is our stuff. There, we got the sock design here, which I do have. And the socks are good. You know, they're definitely, when you get socks like these things, you know, they're definitely novelty, right? But these are actually really comfortable, especially for the knit style. I'm very surprised by them. You know, they may shrink a little bit, but once, you know, you buy a size up or whatever, but these are actually comfortable socks, you know, and I don't say that like, yeah, merch is actually good. It's just like, it's a novelty item, right? And no, it's a novelty item that is really comfortable. So that's the socks, which I really like this design. It's like 80s retro vibe with like a Spider-Man kind of mix. I don't know, I just liked it. It was just really spoke to me. So then you have that shirt, which I think is one of our best shirts, and it sells well, but there's other ones that sell better. I'm like, oh man, this is the cool one. But yeah, and the front logo it's just a little bit different with the wave. We went with the hazard design, as it's called, for our primary logo tee. You know, and here's a early look at it in terms of a different style. And then the white's cool. It's visually pleasing. I just don't like white shirts because I spill all the time. And the idea is we want stuff that we want to wear, that you want to wear, and blah, blah, blah. And it's a big circle, right? So I don't want a white shirt. So here's the black version, which is what we went with. Here's a slight different take on the kind of skull wave. And then here's socks of the hazard, which I like. And that might be a throwback because we do want to refresh in the new year with new designs. But I don't know. I'm looking at this now. I'm like, huh, I like that. Maybe we'll make that a reality. And yeah, here I have the hazard shirt, and this one sells very well. So much so that we restocked it before the holidays for the final push. Because once these are sold out, they're done. I guess the process is we design it, we get it produced, we receive it, we list it on the website. Well, we send it out to a photographer to take photos, and then we list it on the site, and then you guys buy it, and then we pack it, and we ship it. So it's a 7 to 10 step process from the very beginning to the end, with a whole lot of in between. So it takes a lot to develop this stuff, but it's been a lot of fun. Let's see, what was kind of next? So also we wanted to have different price points. So we do sell the t-shirts lower. You know, they are $20 shirts. They're not cheap to produce because it's good material. We're getting good quality print. We're getting quality or print that doesn't wash out. It's screen printed. The shirt quality is great. We have the tags, which adds money. Overall, we're selling the shirt to make sure you have something to wear and that we can recover the costs and come out even. And in many cases, the shipping is fixed. In most cases, we're losing money because we're shipping to Australia for like $30 when the flat rate is like 15 or 17. I don't say that to be like a martyr or like, hey, it's just like we're selling good stuff, and you know, I think the goal is that you guys have good quality stuff and have access to it, and that's kind of the goal with the JT merch. So we wanted different price points is kind of what I'm coming back to. So we had different things so that you could buy and not have to drop $20. So you can, drop a little bit more. So we have the sticker pack, the old logo, which is red, or the new logo, which is red, the old logo in its own style. And those of you know, we got rid of that little tooth bit. And then just the greatest ever sticker, right? We also did a patch. So we have another low price point item. You can do whatever, you can further customize. I don't know, I'm not a patch guy, but I do know that people like them, and I'm pretty sure we got one that's very flexible in what you can do with it. The keychain, right? Which is a PVC, it's good material, pretty sturdy, I've held up. Also forgot to talk about this, but the pin, this was like the very first, this was the proof of concept, selling this on our own site and the fulfillment with shipping and all that. This was kind of the first step of that process of really creating JT merch. And we did 100 of these and we sold them. And I think I want to bring pins back, but I think the red skull will be the limited edition one. And then we'll probably do white and invert the colors, and that'll be the one that we sell to everyone and that everyone can have access to. The hats are our biggest seller. People love the hats. They love hats. They love JT Music logo with hats, on hats. I don't know. This is the hat we designed. Pretty simple. I wanted a two-tone. I wanted this to be wool gray, but instead we decided to go with this kind of charcoaly gray, just design and color. And you have the logo embroidered in. You have JT Music on the back, and then inside it says the greatest ever on these strips, right? Cool, awesome hat. I have 2 of them. I'll probably take one off the inventory for myself just for long term, so I always have a version of this hat because I love it, and you guys have loved it. We've sold hundreds of these, probably at this point, by far our biggest seller. And the inventory of this that we have, when that's gone, it is gone, and we're refreshing the design. And I mean, I guess a little preview. This isn't one of the 2 I'd teased, but I want to go with the trucker kind of hat. These are something I've been really liking. They breathe really well. They're a great balance of baseball hat and flat brim. It's like the perfect balance in the brim and the fit and the look. And I want to do a stealth one where it's black logo. I want to do a camo, black logo, and then I want to do a brighter one. So we'll sell 3 versions, so you have options. And so that's kind of the idea for 2021 hat. So I guess there's that tease for you. This is a long video, but I'm having fun. I hope you guys are having fun along this journey. And yeah, we have the JT motifs, dark colors, skulls, right? Kind of aggressive imagery and whatnot. So we wanted to do the kawaii stuff to lighten it up. And so I worked with a translator to make sure we could get JT Music and katakana. So we got that. And then we worked with Evan Eckerd to get the design. And so this is an early version. I think we only got the text on one side. Yeah, we only got on one side. But here's a long sleeve. So I said I don't like white, but well, here it is. And I think this is my personal version I wear for our video. Oh, this is Skulls. So Skull, he doesn't love this kind of design and stuff, but so that's why we keep in the office for him to wear during CTAs. People like it, and I'm glad that people liked it. Especially a lot of people are anime fans or fans of Japanese culture, right? So I think it hit well. It's a cute logo. I like it, and the Japanese katakana characters are nice and aesthetically pleasing. And just overall design was great on this. And then we had a more kind of grounded logo T version, which these sell better than the long sleeve white, which I was surprised about because I think the long sleeve white, I like them both, but the long sleeve white is just really cool and aesthetic. And then you have that. And then we wanted to do beanies. Beanies were just really easy to do. The design behind it wasn't very overthought. It was simple, just a beanie, something to wear, slap the logo on. So this was definitely a slap the logo on kind of thing, but I think it works with this. Just to me, this seems right with the beanie. It wasn't laziness or anything. It was just like, to me, this is what a beanie is, right? So, there's that. In terms of like having fun experimenting with things, we got the body pillows, right? Like, hey, I guess that's my face. Do the resemblance, and then there's Skull's stomach. Or no, that's my stomach. So the way it's folded, I guess he's folded inside. But that's the body pillow, right? And that's just something fun and goofy we can do, we can sell, and that's the fun. That's not something we can maybe pitch to a partner. But to us owning and doing this ourselves, we can just do something as wacky as this. And I think it's just funny. I don't know. I'm not very creative with the words I'm saying to describe it, but I guess it fits internet culture right now. It's just kind of like, look at how goofy we are. We did this, and the reaction was perfect. And I think people really enjoyed it. And even if people didn't buy it, I think it's a product being listed that someone get something out of without having to buy it. It's just like I can't, like, I don't know, it's a funny little thing, I guess is what I'm trying to say. And then but before other things, like, oh, we had MPC. So this is our MPC exclusive shirt by a local artist we really like. Hey TVM, check his stuff out. He sells it worldwide, or at least nationwide. Local artist here in Wilmington, really like his style. So this is for MPC Nashville. So this is of Andrew Jackson or a famous statue of Andrew Jackson in Nashville. Just a kind of an iconography, whatever. It's an icon of the city of Nashville, and you know, we got the skull and the party. You know, MPC's a party con, right? So that's kind of the vibe there. We wanted to work with him again. He's a North Carolina artist. We're North Carolina creators as well. We wanted to make a shirt that kind of celebrated North Carolina. So we have the JT NC shirt, which I'm wearing. Make sure everything's recording and running still. Yes. Yeah, I just love the off black and the design I really like. And we sent this off to all our North Carolina creator friends, and it's available for sale. It's a little bit pricier, $5 pricier. It's still underpriced, but it's just super limited edition, super low quantity, and they're still available. You know, once it's gone, it's gone. If you're from North Carolina, you know, it's the perfect mending of hopefully things you like, your home state and JT. Lastly, on new things that have been out is the Killer Hook shirt, which sold really well. So that was a big learning moment, is tying in shirts with launch of videos, right? And the video is 75,000 views, which isn't, in terms of our music videos, it's not doing beautifully, but it's doing well enough. But that's just the fact that was able to move a lot of shirts tied to it is like, okay, well, we can do a lot of things. You know, if there's a new FNAF out or whatever, you know, but that'll take some prep, right? So there's the Killer Hook logo, but this was done by Evan Eckerd, who's done a lot of the merch. And then the cool thing was we can do these. So this is the Killer Hook mask, right? And I kind of like, we only made 15, so I tried to make it kind of like a cool little limited edition. You got the paper confetti in there. It's got the card denoting, you know, 1 out of 15, right? So I don't know if it's getting in focus, but there's that. So that is all the merch that's been produced for JT Music, JT Machinima, whatever have you. 2 things to tease, right, that I mentioned. So we want to do a vinyl. That's been long standing. We just got to get the stuff mixed, but we do have the art, and this is the art for the vinyl, and it's dope. This was done by Michael. I mean, he crushed it, went above and beyond, and I can't wait for us to get to hopefully the stage where we can launch the vinyl. And if we don't get there, we will reuse this for an album art, right? But I want this to be for vinyl, and it'll be so cool, so classy, so neat. I know a lot of you guys out there like vinyls, so it'll be cool to revisit the greatest hits via vinyl with this artwork. And then lastly, the order's in, it's being produced. We will get it mid-December, which is a little too late, or a little bit later than I would hope, you know, with holiday sales. The production and testing of this took longer than I thought, but we have JT Music headphones. And I have a sample pair. They're white and like gold. It's the hardware. And I've been testing it out. I've been working out with it. I've been using it for months. I was out in the pouring rain, working out and sweating and stuff, and it's kicking. It's great. You know, they're good headphones. They're gonna feel comparable to whatever you buy out there for a pricey price. And still, these will be sold at a really reasonable price point because we want you guys to have it. We want you to be proud of your JT merch and to buy it. So that'll be fun. That'll be really cool for you guys to have, and it just makes sense. JT Music, we make music. Let's sell you something that helps with that, you know, that you can listen to music through. So, this was a long video. Hope you guys enjoyed watching it. I did have fun making it, talking through and going through everything. I appreciate your patience and really happy that you're interested in this stuff. That's JT merch, the history of it, and our history of our merch stores and our methodology and ideas around it. And thank you guys for watching. Bye.